following me around and gonna watch me grow and become a chief and all that good stuff,
There you go.
you know? So, but yeah, I've been to Alaska, Guam, Italy. I was stationed at Canada for 6 years before I just got to Tinker Air Force Base. And like I said, I love it, you know, and
I'm Sergeant Ashby, been in the Air Force 10 years now. I'm an airborne warning surveillance, airborne warning control system surveillance troop. Stationed at Tinker Air Force Base, my third assignment. So far, I've had a blast. It's a lot of fun. You know, looking to get out, go in the reserves, and you know, stay in Oklahoma. Fell in love with it, so sorry, Oklahoma. But I've had a good run. Met a lot of good people. A lot of great bases. Been to Hurlburt Field, Florida, Air Force Special Operations Command down there. Then I went to Langley Air Force Base, was the Air Combat Command, Air Combat Command headquarters right there. So I had a really good career. My wife, she had been in the Air Force. We met in the same area. She was a cop. She didn't arrest me, and we just happened to know the same people in the same dorms, and we just met each other that way. Got 3 kids, 2 girls and a boy, and just loving it. Absolutely do. About my job on AWACS is what we call it. I'm a surveillance technician. What we do is we track and identify friendly and adversary aircraft, and also civilian aircraft out there as well. We'll control a lot of our friendly aircraft, direct them to put bombs on targets, and take on any adversary aircraft that we see needed. I just got back from deployment. It was a lot of fun. I mean, it's not like you're just kicking around and sand rocks, you know, like you might see on the news or what have you. I had a really good time on deployment, so with that.
yeah, I forgot to mention, yeah, I'm a supply troop by trade. I was like, I didn't tell you what my job is. Supply troop by trade, pretty much, you know, plane breaks, I give you the part, I take it back, I send it to depot. I'm actually in the special duty career field right now where I'm learning how to buy those parts for the Air Force, and not a lot of people get that opportunity to. Once I hit a certain mark in my career, I was able to apply for the position and I got it. And this is a 3-year tour for me, so now I'm learning how to buy and procure the part for the whole Air Force. You know, and I have over like 214 stock numbers I have to maintain and make sure it's good to go every year before we run out, stuff like that, you know. But pretty much, like I said, supply, we receive, ship parts, store 'em, and then deliver and all that good stuff. So logistics, that's pretty much what I do. Okay. So I guess we'll open it up to the floor. So.
With your interaction with the officers there, what's your most, what do you like to see most out of an officer?
For
And what
myself,
don't you like to see, but you do see sometimes?
I like eagerness. Eager to learn your position, eager to know who your people are, eager to you know, just step right in, just start doing the job and go from there. But you know, when you guys first get in there as second lieutenants, you guys are new. You're learning the job. You're learning the ropes, how active duty works or how guard works, how to integrate yourself fully into your job. So just learn that, learn it well, and get to know your people. You're going to get to know a lot of fantastic people from all over the country and all over the world, you know, for example. So, and that's one of my favorite things, you know, is just knowing people, whether it's officer enlisted side, you get to know some fantastic people.
Yeah, my biggest thing is confidence. You know, we actually had this question a couple of times. So, you know, being confident, yeah, you don't know what you're doing, but you're our role models. And you're role models for all the airmen too. And it's just like, when you go in there and you don't know what you're doing, you're kind of like, oh, he's suspect, you know. Well, no, I'm just kidding. But, you know, but just be eager, you know, like you said, to learn your job. Get out there, get dirty with them. We love that. You know what I mean? To be like, we know you have meetings, but then you still have that time to come down and be like, hey, how you doing? You know, how's your weekend? Whatever. And get to know your people, you know, and that means a lot to us.
Trust your subject matter experts. So that was one of the things we mentioned before. Like, your subject matter experts are going to be the NCOs, the senior NCOs. They've been there, done that for a while. Like, while you guys are just getting your feet wet, you just got your commission. You got guys and girls that have been doing there for a decade or more. And they've been around the block. They've learned some things. So go to them for advice, trust. Because they're enlisted doesn't mean that they don't know anything. You'll have guys in there that got advanced degrees. You know, I have airmen under me that have bachelor's degrees in psychology or, you know, business or whatnot. We got guys working at MBA. So just value people for who they are, not just what they wear on their shoulders. And you guys are going to find yourself having a great career as long as you invest in your people.
How long does a mission last usually for you on the AWACS?
It depends. The ones we did where we were flying over, our average time was about 13 hours. Stateside, it's about 7 to 8. It usually depends. Like you might think 13 hours, that's like a whole day. I'm not even awake for 13 hours. But when you get up, you fly. You go do your thing. You're so busy. You're working. It's just time flies. And we talked about this earlier. If you got a positive attitude to anything you're doing, it'll fly like that. 13-hour sorties for us was no big deal. We were flying another part of the world. They were just 6 hours, but we were just absolutely swamped, and it was just wrecked us. Our flight deck guys, they give us a hard time, like, oh, it's only a 6-hour sortie. Why are you so tired? Why are you going to bed? I was like, you guys don't even know what we were doing back there. I mean, we were swamped, but like I said, it just depends where you're at. Stateside, it's going to be about 6-7 hours. Overseas, I had 13 guys in my crew that prior to deployment, they had 21, 22 hours sorties. So it's a long day. You'll sleep well. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
What's an average sortie like? What do you do when you're up there? For you personally?
It depends on what we're doing. Like if we're just doing air-to-air stuff, like we'll have one side red air, one side blue air. We'll go up there, establish the airspace. The blue air will check in, the red air will check in, and then they'll do a mock fight. And my job for that is to make sure that we identify the friendly guys, and we identify the red air guys, and we make sure we keep a symbology on them so we know who's who, so when they get in a fight and merge, do all their fighter stuff, that whenever they come out, we know who's who and whatnot. It's not very difficult, but it gets very stressful, especially when you got everybody just mixing up together. But if we're doing air to ground, it's all blue air guys. They're talking to a JTAC, joint terminal air controller on the ground. And pretty much that guy on the ground is directing fire support down there, so he'll call up, talk to that blue air guy, and put rounds on target, and we'll basically put that blue air guy on that tasking. He might be over here out of this guy's radio range, but we'll tell him like, hey, you got some fire support over here, go over this way, and we'll put them in a kill box, and we'll get those guys talking and put rounds on target. You were next there.
With 13-hour sorties, is coffee a big part of your day?
Yes.
Or just coffee, like Red Bull, whatever you get your hands on?
Red Bull coffee, it's a big part of my day. When I first deployed, that's when I first started drinking coffee before I was air crew, just kind of get used to the time change. But then up in the air, I mean, I bring my own coffee mug with me. I got a little snooty. My wife sent me a French press, so I have French press coffee. It's an amazing thing. It's a little time consuming. But yeah, you'll have coffee. Also, they have drinks over there called Ribbits. I don't know if you ever had those before. And you'll end up mixing those with Gatorade because Ribbits taste terrible. But you mix it with Gatorade, and it's all right. So just do whatever you got to do to keep yourself awake. But also be careful with liquid stimulants because flying affects your body in certain ways, and you kind of have to figure out what does what to you. I know video camera's on. If it wasn't on, I'll tell you a little bit more. But there's a galley in there with a restroom, and that restroom was first built in 1977, so I'll let you guys draw your own conclusions.
You're ruining everything.
I know, that's what I've been hearing. The camera's on, I can't tell you stuff. It's like, I can turn it off if you want.
Is that on camera?
Yes.
Do y'all do more command and control type stuff, or
Yes.
is it mostly recon?
For us, it's command and control. That's pretty much what AWACS does. And we go out there and we support the intel, surveillance, reconnaissance aircraft. We support the strike aircraft, the bombers, everybody. It's pretty much like you're the TV director in that control room, and you're saying, I want this, I want this, I want this, but also information's pushing back to you. And it depends who has certain types of authority, because sometimes we might not have the authority to call an aircraft hostile. It might come from somebody on the ground calling us, which is usually a two-star general saying, hey, we're going to direct that this guy is a hostile, and then we've got to relay that to our assets in the air, and they'll go do what they do best.
How many people are doing that mission? So how many people they have on the plane?
It usually depends. Like we usually roll the crew about 20 people, but we can have excess of 40, minimum of 4. So it all depends on what we're doing.
I've got a question for you. I'm the only one who knows this, but you said earlier you were in Italy. What kind of work did you do in Italy, and how is Italy as you were there, both work and not work?
Right. Yeah, the mission at Italy was pretty high paced, because Italy was kind of like the hub for all the other, surrounding bases, so we were humping every day. But when we did get off time, I did get a chance to do the whole Europe trip, you know what I mean? I got to Germany, France, went all the way down, because Aviano is north, and so we got down to go to Florence, Rome, Sicily, and back, so we definitely enjoyed our time, because when there was a down day, everybody was gone. And then I know some people that didn't even go anywhere, and they just needed the opportunity, and any chance we got, ITT's real good, they offer a lot of trips to Egypt, Croatia, all that, so take advantage of it, and we did, and we loved it. We got to fly to Paris for a penny, you know what I mean, that's, they have those, Europe Airlines, so Ryanair, that's what we got on, and yeah, it was amazing. We stayed in a hostel, so that was like $20, and it was great times.
What are your experiences or stories with chaplains? I've asked everyone this. I'm starting to become one. But what is your, do you have any stories or any experiences, or what's your thoughts on them?
I've always had positive interaction with chaplains. I don't think they get around enough to the units. They kind of get forgotten about. But deployed, they really make a big difference, because a lot of people when they're deployed, they kind of lose themselves, or they're away from home, sometimes for the first time, and they're not used to it. So chaplains do play a big role in that. I got a chance to meet he's now Captain Strucker from I don't know if you guys remember the movie Black Hawk Down. You guys are probably really young when it came out. But he was Sergeant Strucker at that time.
Yeah.
And I got a chance to meet him after that ordeal. He actually became a chaplain. He was had always been strong in his Christian faith, and just after that interaction, he kind of pushed him more towards the ministry. So I did get a chance to meet him. So and that was really cool. But yeah, back to my point about being deployed. Chaplains, they do help out people a lot, because it's just provide that spiritual guidance that people don't really get on their own. So.
Deployment is where I definitely got to interact more with chaplains. But here at Tinker, I was able to do a couple marriage seminars, and they were there, and just they're there to help you and everything like that. So all my experiences with them were good, So just you guys are so motivated and so happy, and everybody else is like, oh, here comes the chaplain, but they're there and they'll lift your spirits up, and that's good, especially in those times where you're like, I don't want to deal with nothing, So just keep positive,
For anyone that's wanting to be like an ABM, can you kind of explain what role they play?
For us, our air battle managers, they're the ones that are going to talk to the aircraft, direct them to go. We used to call them WD, weapons directors. You guys go to training down in Tyndall Air Force Base, Florida. I know it's a hard assignment. You guys can get over it. And then after that's done, you guys go to survival training up in Fairchild, Washington. It's a lot of fun, but you never want to do it ever again. Then you'll come to your base, whether it's Tinker Air Force Base. You'll come there for initial training. But what you guys do is all those fighter jocks out there that the Top Gun type, I think they're just whatever acronym you want to throw in, or not acronym, you want to throw in there. You pretty much they have limited sight what they can see in their aircraft. They have limited radio range. But when the piece that the ADS provides, they're saying, hey, I need you, F-22 guy, to go over here and go check out this surface air missile site, or I need you to go take care of these fighters, or hey, bombers, we got this target right here. We might have a time-sensitive target come up, or you got to go reflow to that. So you guys actually do play a huge piece. Command and control, that's what ABMs do. On the JSTARS, they're down where Robins. They do a little bit different mission. I don't have enough experience to speak to that one, but they are on different platforms. And they don't have to be flying ones either. They also do ground assignments down at control reporting centers. They'll be on the ground looking at similar stuff we do, and they'll pretty much do the same thing, direct air traffic where they need to direct them to. So it's an interesting job. Very demanding on you guys. You guys got to know weapons loadouts, what aircraft can do what, their fuel states, weapon states, just everything. You got to know tactics, techniques, and procedures for different adversary groups. So it's a lot of information. You guys, like ABMers, have a lot of responsibility.
When you get deployed as a part of the logistics group, like how often do y'all go out on convoys and stuff, and how much time is restricted, like on base?
Right. Well, I've never did, convoys, but, you know, before you get when you get tasked, you'll find out what duties you're gonna do before you go over there. And then when you get over there, it's gonna change again sometimes, you know what I mean? So, I know a few of my guys did get convoys and stuff like that. You know, me personally, like I said, I went to deploy to Masera Island, Oman, and then I was in Qatar, you know, so I was the hub, so we never really had to do any convoys, but we just, you know, supported all the people that came in. And again, you know, if a plane broke in a nearby country, I would ship that asset over there to them, you know what I mean? And that's the closest that I ever got. However, my husband said that he was stationed in Kuwait, and he would have to drive to FOBs, and then that's where he definitely had to go. And they got him a couple times, you know, but I mean, it's when we have to take a part somewhere else, you know, that they have to go off base, but most of the time, the deployed locations that I was at, I just had to ship them out, and then had transportation, everybody else had to deal with it, so, you know.
If you're expected to do convoy duty, you're gonna get trained. It's not
Yeah.
just like, hey, good luck,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
go man this gun and go this place. You know, they're gonna train you. I mean, so it's, and like even like in the position that we're in, you know, we may not get that training now, but like you'll know your duties, and they'll say, hey, you need to go to Fort Dix, New Jersey. You're gonna go a 6-week convoy course. You're gonna learn how to do that, so that when you do that, when you go out to those forward operating bases, and if you do come in contact with, you know, make contact, you're gonna know what to do instead of just be out there flailing, throwing your own.
Right.
Alright, let's go, man.